The Oklahoma City Thunder have suffered their first playoff loss in the 24-25 NBA season. And this series for Oklahoma and their playoff hopes feel like they've turned completely upside down. And that might sound dramatic, but Oklahoma City Thunder fans are now sitting here wondering what went wrong and how can Oklahoma City bounce back in game 2. So we're going to talk about all of that today. Before we do, though, as always, I want to hear from y'all, so join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and hit the subscribe button. No better time than to join during the playoff season. However, Oklahoma City felt like we were just talking about this last year with the Dallas Mavericks. They drop one to the Denver Nuggets, and it was a tough one. 121-119 on an Aaron Gordon buzzer beater. Man, I don't know what's up with Aaron Gordon lately, hitting buzzer beaters for Denver, but he's got some special sauce from Michael Jordan. That's what this is. He's got some special juice or something. But if you're Oklahoma City, you've probably got to start with this. Jokic had 5 fouls in the fourth quarter, and if you're Oklahoma City, you couldn't take advantage of it. And it felt like Denver took advantage of both of Oklahoma City's bigs being in foul trouble. Here's what I mean by that. Although at times Jokic had to give up on defense to avoid the foul, it felt like Oklahoma City's bigs in the paint were completely non-existent in the last 5 to 6 minutes of that fourth quarter. And the exceptional defense that I felt like Oklahoma City pretty much played in the first half somehow disappeared in the second half, where you allowed Denver to score 35 points in the third quarter and 36 points in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma City forced 18 turnovers and only committed 9. And if you're Oklahoma City, you didn't really take a big advantage on that. You would think 18-9 turnovers, you would think Oklahoma City won this game by 20. But instead, we're sitting here talking about a loss because although Oklahoma City at times could get to a 14 or 15-point lead, they always allowed Denver to stay within arm's reach, which allowed Denver to be where they are at now. Now, I will say this, just like a lot of people were saying in the arena, Jokic is a free throw merchant. Jokic baited Oklahoma City into a lot of fouls tonight, and a lot of unnecessary ones. So if you're Oklahoma City, one of the things you have to look at on how you can bounce back in game 1, don't commit stupid penalties and go for Jokic's pump fakes. I think that's a pretty simple one. Additionally, if you get Jokic back in a position where he's got 5 fouls, I don't care if it takes you in a bad position on defense. Try to take advantage of his 5 fouls. Because if you can get Jokic out of the game, it's a pretty easy dub for Oklahoma at that point. But Oklahoma City couldn't take advantage of it. Now, you do look at the end of the game, and this is where you see a lot of people on social media asking if Oklahoma City choked. And I'm pretty sure the national media is going to have some fun with Oklahoma City here. But maybe this is what the Oklahoma City Thunder needed. Because we had talked about the Oklahoma City Thunder in clutch situations and how were they going to respond. And obviously you saw them come back from a 29-point deficit with Memphis without Ja Morant. You saw them win a close game with Memphis to close out the series. But the question was, how were they going to respond to adversity? Oklahoma City gets an opportunity now to answer that question. How are they going to respond? Are they going to come back and play very lackadaisical, like I felt like they did today at some points in game 2? Or are they going to come out in game 2 and absolutely curb stomp Denver and then go back to Denver and try to reclaim home court? Because right now, if you're Oklahoma City, you've lost home court. And that doesn't feel good. And this is a series where you ideally want to close it out in 5, but probably don't want to stretch out more than 6. Because I feel like the Timberwolves are probably going to sweep the Warriors. So if you're Oklahoma City, you want to stay pretty well on pace with that series. You don't want to get into a taxing series with the Denver Nuggets. With the Denver Nuggets team, by the way, who fired their head coach before the playoffs started and are now 8-3 since they fired their head coach. And so you look at this game for Oklahoma City, SGA 33 points on 12 of 26 shooting. He had 10 rebounds, 8 assists. He led Oklahoma City in all 3 of those categories. And this is another reason. This is another area where I think Oklahoma City needs to improve. Because, going into this playoffs, the question was, how is J-Dub and Chet going to answer the call to being the second and third options for Oklahoma City if SGA is not having a great night? And ultimately, Chet only had 12 points tonight. J-Dub only had 16 points tonight. Alex Caruso was your second leading scorer at 20 points. You need J-Dub and Chet in these instances to step up. You need 25 points from one of those guys. And although Shea got a 30 points tonight, it didn't feel like a very great 30 points because it was on 12 of 26. He only got to the line 9 times, only made 7 free throws. Teams are figuring out if they play on Shea the way that they have, you make somebody else beat you, your odds significantly go up in winning that game. So if you're Oklahoma City, you have to take advantage of when teams want to do that to you. And I think Denver, in the second half, they came out with that game plan. Shea is not going to beat us. After Shea, I think it was like 20 points in the first half against Denver. And so if you're Oklahoma City, obviously the game management piece of this, not fouling when you're up by 3 with like 40-some seconds left on the clock, I think is important. Chet being able to hit those 2 late free throws definitely would have mattered. And, if you're Oklahoma City, you know better than anybody else. Russell Westbrook can get wild at times. Why haven't you not bait Russell Westbrook into making more mistakes? Why did you not bait Russell Westbrook to try to go to the basket and be the hero at the end of the game versus finding a wide open Aaron Gordon, where I felt like Chet was playing too far back? And this isn't me trying to go out here and pick on Chet the entire time, but it's the sad truth. Chet played too far back on Aaron Gordon and gave him enough room to hit that shot. And so, ironically, both number 1 seeds in both conferences lose their first games. And you feel like Oklahoma City, this is a must-win in game 2. You have to win this game to be able to stay in this series. And I don't feel like that's an overreaction. So we'll talk more about game 2 here in the coming day. Make sure you guys jump in the comments below, join the discussion. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and you guys hit that subscribe button.